Hello, context traders. Today is May 2nd, 2025, and I want to go over the QQQ market today. Where are we today? We opened up with a pretty significant gap to the upside, right? So we're opening up here. We closed at 481.25. We opened up here at 486.55. And we can see in that first 5-minute candle, we tried to push up and we fell back down. So what do we look like here? We see first minute is pretty much nothing burger, up and down. Set on hands, nothing's happening here. Next bar pushes up, next bar pushes higher, but snaps back in. So we could be potentially coming back down. Next bar pushes up, falls back in. As it closes and this one starts dropping, I enter short. We get a 1, 2, 3 bar push. We get that trident rocket bar, look right into the 10 EMA on the 1-minute chart. And this is my favorite entry model for getting into a trade in momentum. So this is my exit as well. So as price pops up here and starts rising on this bar, I'm out. Looks like it would have been a nice call entry if I was not exiting a put at the time. But we got a quick $1.50 here. And so price comes back up. We're failing to get higher. Failing to get higher. At this point, I think a you could take a put, but as this moving average was rapidly rising up, I was starting to debate whether or not the possibility and the potential were in line with each other. I was thinking high possibility that this crashes back down, but I wasn't sure about the potential. We did still have space down into this narrow state that was expanding on the 2-minute chart, and we still had a huge gap down here, so there was some decent potential, but I just hesitated a little bit as this was rising up. Instead, I decided to wait and see if we would find some support to get more of that gap and go look. And so this did come down for a 1, 2, 3 push. We got just a little bit lower. We again get that same entry model that I really like. I prefer it when this middle candle is a small candle, but because it's had a really nice wick pushing back and in, I hesitated a few seconds longer just to make sure that this was going to hold. Sometimes this wick, you'll get a big wick, and the next one will hesitate and then drop and fill that whole wick in or go lower. So we waited here. We started to push back up, and once we got above this 485.15 area, which was the previous bar wick, it starts coming up. Then I'm entering on this trade here. We go up for 1, 2, 3 minutes push. This one snaps back down. Didn't manage this one super well. I was thinking we might pull back, get a hesitation on top of this 21, and then go up to try to go after this high here. It fell back and closed below, and I had to close that trade there. So I gave up, 76 cents down to, I gave up about 75 to 80 cents of profit there. That moved pretty quick against me. But no matter, it's fine. We still chalked up a winner there. And then we start looking at what's going on here. We came down off of that 21. We pulled back. Now we're sitting here on top of this 10. We're coming off of this 10, coming up. Now we're seeing a rising 21, seeing a rising 21 out of a narrow state. This 10 is starting to curl back up. So we get in right here on the, let's see, what was that? That was the 10:01 Eastern bar. And again, we got a nice push here. We got a 1, 2, 3 push. Uh, Exited again a little bit poorly on this one. Again, today's mantra for the day for the market seemed to be minimal follow through after making new highs. So I was thinking possibly holding out to see if this guy was going to hold in here. And when it came up and it crashed down pretty hard, and I ended up closing defensively right above that box. It was just obviously tanking. So again, I gave up a fair amount of profit on that drop there. So management was not my strongest today, but trade entries were profitable. And so we move on here, and I'm seeing, okay, now we are expand this a little bit. We're right into that zone, right? We're on top of the opening range. We're on top of that area. We're still channeling up. And I looked over my 2-minute chart, looked really nice. I saw one rocket bar up. I saw two rocket bars up. I saw this third rocket bar starting to form right there. And as this bar was rising up, I clicked in. Plan here was very simple. If this doesn't breach and go on this 21 on the one, if I see this start to stutter in this area, we are done with this trade. Again, I'm usually in green protection mode after I've got a couple of winners, so I don't give them that much room. I'm happy to take a small loser if this just pops and falls back. I'll get out. That's fine. But we got up, and again we made new highs and immediately started crash back down. So again, another quick trade, small profit. Didn't manage this super well again. Starting to get a little bit frustrated with myself. My management, I hadn't learned my lesson apparently yet, and I should have been taking profit quicker on these nice impulses. So as this one's falling back below the 21 again, I closed just a small gainer. Then we have Chop Fest for a good amount of time, and not a lot of good things going on in here. Um, I really don't like it when these moving averages get so flat and you see price just snapping back and forth. My bias was still to the upside, and I was still looking at where we might get an opportunity to get in here, right? Because we have this opening range box we're holding. That's the 5 and 15-minute opening range, and we keep bouncing off of it. So I'm still thinking fall bias, but I will admit there were some times I was like, man, this thing is starting to turn over, and it's like it's really trying to fall. And so I started trying to talk myself into some puts, but it was just really choppy. So anytime you see this price going up, below, it looked like it was starting to go here and then crash right back down again. But a couple of little nuances or little things to look at. This guy right here was the lowest bar, and he came back right into that same area that we took off from, and that sent it back up. We made a new high again. So we did make a new high. So I'm thinking as long as this pullback doesn't go below here, we should still be good. And so it pulls back, had a nice little rocket bar entry. I did not take this here. I waited just because it did look like it might be starting to try to curl over a little bit. But once we got this bar fully accelerate, the next bar pulled back, pushed up, next bar opens. I did jump in right here. And this was right around 488. And caught this, and we started channeling up, 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 up. Made new highs again, pulled back. And this time we got the explosion, right? So we come up and then chop, or not chop, but slowly move up, boom, 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 and then bam, got the big explosion wick here. Waited for the dust to settle a little bit because this bar was just all over the place. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. So I waited for this to settle, and once it settled, started to fall back in. I got out of that trade there. So nice trade here to finish off the morning. Um, Not a lot else super exciting and interesting to me. I did want to show one thing and talk about a concept, though. I want to talk to you all about this concept of change of character. So, a change of character, whenever we see an actual momentum change, and there was a nice put entry, but I wasn't super interested in it, even though there were some nice details. So, this one right here, when we're looking at 5, 2, and 1, this looks like a very nice potential trade entry, right? Particularly we have this coming off of a high. Usually when we get a high, we're going to get some sort of a pullback, or the 21 is starting to flatten out a little bit. Probably the most important detail would be how much space we have here. And we have a lot of space between the 21 and the price, and the 21 is flat, right? 200 in a flat state is strong. 21 in a flat straight is weak sauce. So there were some good nuances here, and you catch this curling over, a little tuck under the 10, and then boom, drops. That's a nice trade. If anyone in the community took that, I would applaud you. It was a nice trade. But I had really decided that with all this momentum up, I didn't want to take anything until I saw a really good change in character. And we did get a change of character here on the 5-minute chart. And so show you change of character for those of you that this is new for. When we're looking at who was the last low to produce a new high, right? So we had a low come up, did make a high, pulled up here, went up, made a new high, pulled back, made a new high. So this right here is our area in charge. This was the last low, last pullback to make a new high. So when price dropped below there, that is a change in character, right? And so, but we came back up and made a new high again, which invalidates it. So now this becomes a new point of interest. This was the last low, produced a new high. So this ended up being a weak, or I'm sorry, this ended up being a weak low because it did not produce, right? So we have this crash through, came back up. So now we've got another change of character to the upside. So we are looking, theoretically, we should be looking for pullbacks because we made a new high. We didn't get that, obviously. And this is, as I just mentioned, a reason why you might take this short. But it wasn't until here where we crashed below this area. We got another change of character. So now we went from a high through to a new low and we pulled back up. And so this area right here is actually my favorite trade of the day because we had on a 5-minute chart a full failure, crash through, change of character, pullback, resting underneath. And this is what I saw. I saw this pulling back up. So this is that area that we're highlighting there. Okay. And I see this hesitating here. It is not breaking above this zone. If we get back up here, we had another shift. We'll have another at least 2-minute change of character back to the upside, but we don't, we fail. So this is the first time that we saw a high, make a new low, pull back, drop, pull back. This is where we have a real shift in the market for the first time today, not just a quick impulse move to the downside. So this right here is my favorite trade of the day because these are money. Like I know for like 80, 90% probability that this is going to produce a positive trade. That this is going to at least come back down into this area and challenge, if not go lower. Okay. And so we come back up, banging our head off of a 200. I got in here, banged our head off 200. I added on there. We dropped, we pulled back under, can't get up back even as high as we were before. I added in again there. And then we get a quick little move, boom, boom, bam, shoots down. Now, be mindful, time of day. A lot of funny things happen in the last 10 minutes. So I actually exited this trade about 10, 15 seconds before this bar closed. Didn't want to mess around with it. I've had these go in my favor. I've had them go against me. So I got out and then it did shoot off those last 10 minutes and come back in and chop around right in that same area. But I want you all to really pay attention to this. Pay attention to highs and lows. Who has been in control? What was the last low to make a new high? At what point does it get taken out? And then the pullback. Anytime we have a low or a high taken out, we're going to have some sort of retracement. Is the retracement come back as high as it was before? Does it fail to get higher or does it fail to go lower? Make sure that you're paying attention to those details. So it's very important to understand the ebbs and flows of the market and how it shifts. There are always going to be these opportunities to grab these quick trades that are, regressions back to the mean, but to really see a full shift, and when you should shift your overall market bias, that's what we're looking for is those changes, those structure breaks and those changes in character. Okay. So I hope all that helps. As always, if you found some value in this, go ahead and hit the like button, drop a comment in there, let us know what you learned. And until next time, I wish you a blessed rest of your day and happy trading.